Hello dear students. Today after a long time of COVID and lockdown and all such things, here we come again to a classroom. Let us start again with our plus 2 English class with the first unit and with the first lesson of it. The first unit is Flights of Freedom. Let us read it. I am no bird and no air ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. These are the lines written by the famous writer Charlotte Bronte. And about the unit we shall read. There is an increasing realization and recognition that empowers women is an urgent need of the hour. In most countries, including India, social reformers and leaders have been doing a lot towards empowering women. Still, we have miles to go. This unit tells us how education, determination, and courage help women break the shackles of socio-cultural taboos. So, after reading the lines of Charlotte Bronte and reading the first paragraph about the unit, we understand that this unit concerns about the freedom of women, women's rights and their empowerment. So that is the major topic we are going to deal in this unit. And what does Charlotte Bronte remark with her lines? Let us come to that again. I am no bird and no yet ensnares me. I am a free human being with an independent will. That's what she says. Even if I am a girl, even if I am a woman, I am not a bird who is to be caged or who is to be kept under in the four walls. I am also a free human being who has her own wills and wishes, who has her own mind and thoughts. And that is what we are going to see throughout this unit. And in the unit they again say that they still have a realization and recognition that empowering women is an urgent need of the hour. We should and we must, and many of us are doing this in this time of the hour or during this time of the period. And then the writer again says that still we have miles to go. That's what I said again, that we have done, we are still doing works to empower women, to empower children, but we know in our heart that we have miles and miles to reach the goal, to reach the destined place. Okay, and coming to the unit, this unit comprises of a speech which is named The 3 L's of Empowerment by Christine Lagarde, the first women finance minister of France, a poem by Catherine Tynan named Any Woman, a story Matchbox by Asha Purna Devi, and an anecdote Hore Galu by Sudha Murthy. And then let's begin to the next page. There is a collage given below, and there are pictures of four women, four famous women, and let's look who are they. Smita Patil, Helen Borden, Mary Kom and J.K. Rowling. These are the four women whom we are going to look through. Smita Patil, we know that Smita Patil Okay, Smita Patil is an actress and she has acted in over 80 Hindi and Marathi films. And she has had not a big or an elaborate career. She died at the age of just 31. She had only a decade of her career, and during that period, uh, in that small period, she received two National Film Awards and one Filmfare Award, and not only that, she was also a recipient of the Padma Shri. So we can identify her talent through all these awards. Then there is another woman given in the collage, that is Helen Borden. She is born in the UK and is the director of BBC Radio. Okay, as a woman, as a lady, that is a great achievement. Don't you think so? And then comes MC Mary Kom. Do you know that she is from Assam? Yes, we all know that. And then there is one more thing which is very sweet or very special about her, is that she is nicknamed as the Magnificent Mary. And she is a 5-time world amateur boxing champion. That is a great achievement. And the only women boxer to have qualified for the 2012 Summer Olympics, and she is a winner of the bronze medal. Okay, and we all know that she had to take a lot of break after her childbirth, and many people thought that she would never come back. And after that, when she came back, she had to prove to the world that even being a woman and giving birth to a child does not end your career, does not end your talent. She again came back, she won number of medals, and she proved to the world that being a mother or being a household wife is not an end of anything. If you have the talent, you have the willpower, then you can achieve anything. And then next is another lady named J.K. Rowling. You must be very familiar with the name because she has written the famous Harry Potter series. Many of you must have read that, or many of you must have seen the films. Okay. And she is her book, the series of Harry Potter, was the best selling book series in history. Okay, in the history of the books, or in the history of book selling, it is the best seller till now. And I don't know if many of you have heard, or if any of you have read, but she had a life from rags to riches. Means she had a very meager life, a very poor lady, and from her disappointment or from her sadness in her life, she did a very astonishing thing for the empowerment of women, is a girl named Malala. You might have heard her, don't you? Haven't you? So the girl who is about your age, she fought for the girls of her own age. She fought because she wanted to learn, she wanted to study. Okay, the right for education, which we all have, we are lucky to have, but in many countries many girls do not have that, and she fought for it, and she is famous for her doings, or she is famous for her struggle for that. One such lady is Malala. Then we know the Iron Women.
So let's look the rest of the part. Have you ever thought about the various roles There are many questions given from this collage. The first question was to identify these personalities which I have discussed with you, and what are they famous for. That too I have discussed with you. Smita Patil, she's an actress. Helen Borden, she's in the news, she's in the media. And then Mary Kom, we know that she's a boxing champion. J.K. Rowling, she's a famous writer. Then there are some other questions given to discuss. Have you ever thought about the various roles taken by women in their homes and outside? Can you think of any? The roles taken by women in their homes. In their homes. Okay, can you think of your mother? What are the things she does in our home? She's a chef. She's the greatest chef, if I might say. Each and every mother is a great chef, don't you think? Then a mother is a cleaning lady. Our mother is a nurse for us. She takes care of us from heart and soul when we are ill. Then our mother is a caretaker for us, don't you think? And then she is a tutor, a teacher for us. Yes. Then what are the other roles that you can think of? These are the roles which we see, or these are the phases, different phases of our mother which we see inside the house, and what are the other things that you see outside. When she goes or leaves the home, what is she? She might be a teacher, she might be a doctor, she might be a nurse. Okay, when she enters into a grocery shop, she bargains for you, she buys all the things which you need. Okay, she is a good manager, don't you think so? Because she manages everything, each and everybody in the house. She knows what is good for you, what is good for your father, or what is good for an elderly person in home. So she has management skills also, management of money, of time. Okay, so she is the one who keeps on taking the home forward and forward and forward. And what are the challenges faced by women today is the next question. Can you think about any challenges, or as a girl or a boy, if you have seen anything, a lady facing any challenges throughout her life? What is there any one thing anybody can name, or is there any one thing anybody can think of? Well, I can name some because I have faced some challenges, and it would be the challenges faced by women is majorly gender discrimination. Then these are two major things which I can think of, and if you can think of any other or more things, please notify that. Then there are the next question is, are women equipped to meet those challenges? Do you think women are equipped to meet those challenges? If I say, or we can write this question in a different way, that in my opinion, or I may say that women is partially equipped or not fully equipped to meet such challenges, because there are rules or there are laws passed in the parliament. There is an act passed in parliament in 1990, and there is an act. There is also another act called Swashakti, which was passed in 2001 for the empowerment of women. But these are just only on papers. That's what in the unit, in the first part of the unit, we read that we have miles to go. Everything is written and everything is there, and we know that it is there, but it is not done in action. If anybody asks that are women equipped, we can say that women are only partially, not wholly, not fully, but only partially equipped. If we know our rights, then we can fight for it. Fight for it. Okay. What do you understand by the word power? Okay, the power, the status, or the thing which we have, the authority. Don't you think that power means that? So, here's lesson, or in this speech by Christine Lagarde, she tells us that there are three L's. L. There are three words which start from the letter L, which can help a woman empower herself, to give an authority, to give the power to a woman. There are three L's, three words starting from the letter L, which can give a woman power. Okay, so this is about the lesson. Now let us read that. Emancipation and empowerment of women is of prime importance in every society. In our country, we have achieved partial success, but we still have a long way to go. What should we do to achieve this goal? Here's a speech on the requisites of women empowerment. Okay, from here on, we shall not only speak in English, but we shall also have a discussion or have some words in Malayalam also, because even that would be a good way of facilitating. The three L's of empowerment by Christine Lagarde. Okay, first of all, I think that we should know that before writing, before reading a particular piece of work, even if it may be a poem or if it may be a story, an anecdote or anything, a novel, we should know is about the writer. എഴുത്തുകാരൻ ആരാണ് എന്ന് നമ്മൾ അറിഞ്ഞിരിക്കും, അല്ലേ? That is an important thing. So, in the last part of the lesson, there is a small portion given about the author, Christine Lagarde, and it reads as so. She was born in Paris on 1st January 1956 as the first woman to become the finance minister of a G8 economy and to head the International Monetary Fund. She calls up opening the doors to women's learning, labor and leadership in the economic field. This speech was delivered at the National Democratic Institute, Washington, D.C. on 19th May 2014. So, there is some information given about our author. Then after that, apart from this given information, we have some other information, is that she was also a French lawyer, and she was the first female chairman of an international law firm named Baker and McKenzie, and later she was ranked as best Minister of Finance in the Eurozone. Okay, in that zone itself, she was ranked as best Minister of Finance. So that's a great achievement, don't you think? And that lady, Christine Lagarde, she tells us that there are three L's to empower women. And now let us start the lesson. There is a speech. It is a speech. It starts from some particular salutation. It may be good morning, or it may be respected teachers, students. So a speech usually starts like that. And here she says, good afternoon. It is great to be among friends and kindred spirits. The 21st century poses many challenges that require new ways of thinking. None more important than the economic role of women in a rapidly changing world. But women today remain blocked from contributing their true potential. This has a huge cost. In some countries, per capita income lags significantly because women are denied equal opportunity. They represent half the world's population but contribute far less than 50% of economic activity. What is needed to change this picture is a concerted effort to open the door to opportunity with what I call the 3 L's of women's empowerment: learning, labor, and leadership. So, this is the first paragraph of this speech, and we shall look into it. She says, she starts by addressing her friends and kindred spirits. What do you understand by kindred spirits? Friends, we all know, and kindred spirits are those who have similar opinion or similar ideas as we have. So she addresses all those who are friends and who have the same idea, the same ideology as she has. She says that the 21st century poses many challenges that require new ways of thinking. We know that it is the 21st century and it has many challenges posed in front of us. One among that is the empowerment of women. The other may be the climate change, the population, the pollution factor. All these things are challenges for humankind, but empowering women is one among such challenges, and it is quite important because she says that in the economic world, women can contribute, but they are not allowed to contribute just because they are women. Yes, we all know that there are many women who are qualified or who have talent, who can contribute to their household as well as to the society. But their potential are blocked from contributing. That's what it is said, because she says that they are blocked from contributing, and because they are blocked, it is not that they only suffer from it. It is the whole economy which is suffering, because 50% of the population is women, and that 50% are not allowed to contribute. So the whole economy suffers. What do you think? If there is for example, now let us discuss that. വീട്ടിൽ അച്ഛനും ഉണ്ട് അമ്മയും ഉണ്ട് അല്ലേ? ഫാദർ ഈസ് ക്വാളിഫൈഡ്, മദർ ഈസ് ക്വാളിഫൈഡ്. പക്ഷെ അമ്മയെ ജോലിക്ക് വിടാൻ സമ്മതിക്കുന്നില്ല, ജോലിക്ക് പോകാൻ താല്പര്യമുണ്ടെങ്കിലും സമ്മതിക്കുന്നില്ല. Okay, so 50% of that family, the father provides for her, for you children, and if there are other family members, for them also. He provides for everything. Okay, and that 50% shares the whole burden. You know that it can be made 100 by her support also, but it is not allowed. Okay, she is not given the opportunity. So that 50%, when she is neglected or when she is put in a cage, it is not only her, it is not only the women who suffer, but it is the 50% who contribute. They are also suffering because all the burden comes on them also. So it is not, if we think that we are doing something great by not allowing the women, or by putting these women in cages, not allowing them to come forward, or if some people who are afraid that if the women might go out and earn, then our status in the family might diminish, then such people are actually hurting themselves. കാരണം എന്താണ്? കാരണം അതിൻ്റെ ഭാരം, ആ ഒരു കുടുംബത്തിൻ്റെ മൊത്തം ഭാരം പിന്നെ ചുമക്കേണ്ടി വരുന്നത് അവർ ഒറ്റയ്ക്ക് തന്നെ. That's what she is saying. The economy is wholly affected. We can, she says it in a broader sense. ഒരു വലിയൊരു രൂപത്തിലാണ് പറയുന്നത്. And when we take that broader sense into our family, we can understand what she says in a perfect manner. Then she says that this has a huge cost. Yes, we said that. In some countries, per capita income lags significantly because women are denied equal opportunity. Okay, you understand what I said earlier? Okay, in some countries, that economy is lagging behind, is left behind because the women are not given equal opportunity. Okay, and that lag not only affects the women, but it is affecting the whole economy itself. And they represent the half of the world's population, but contribute far less than 50% of economic activity. Yes, that's what we said. The women are more than 50% of the population, but they are contributing very less to that economy. Very few women are working. Very few women are contributing to the economy, contributing to the families, contributing to the society. And what is needed to change this picture is a concerted effort to open the door to opportunity with what I call the 3 L's. So she says that there is a door to opportunity. Okay, അവസരത്തിന് വേണ്ടി ആ ഒരു വാതിൽ, അതിനുള്ള ഒരു വാതിലുണ്ട്, അത് നമ്മൾ തുറക്കണം. And the key to that door is what she says is the 3 L's. The 3 L's is the key to that door of opportunity. അല്ലെ, അവസരങ്ങളുടെ ആ വാതിൽ അത് തുറക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു താക്കോലാണ് ഈ 3 L, 3 L എന്ന് പറയുന്ന അക്ഷരങ്ങൾ. What are the 3 L's? The 3 L's are learning, labor and leadership. A woman should be learned, okay, and women should be allowed to go and work. And not only that, she should be allowed to give to have some leadership in the outside as well as in the family. Okay, she should be allowed to take decisions independently. Yes, that is where leadership comes. So these are the 3 L's that she tells us about. Okay, this is the first paragraph which Christine Lagarde says in her speech. Let us just revise what we said earlier. We came about telling this unit, about the unit, we told about the unit, that the unit deals with the empowerment of women. There are 4 parts in this unit. There is a speech, yes, there is a speech, and there is a poem, and there is a story and an anecdote. So these are the 4 things in this unit. And then we came across a collage of 4 women. We discussed how women contribute in our house and what are the different roles of women outside. Okay, these things we discussed, and then we came to know who is Christine Lagarde, the writer or the person who gave the speech. And then we came into her speech, and we came to know that she speaks to others as friends, as kindred spirits, as people who have similar thought as hers. And then she says that in the 21st century we have many problems, the world is facing many problems. ഒരുപാട് പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ നമ്മൾ നേരിടുന്നുണ്ട്. അതിലെ ഒരു മാരകമായ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട പ്രശ്നമാണ് സ്ത്രീകളുടെ എംപവർമെന്റ്, അല്ലെ, ദ എംപവർമെന്റ് ഓഫ് വിമൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. the authority, the authority given to women to decide for herself, to be independent for herself. That is one of the major problems, and she says that because women are denied the door of opportunity, these women are blocked from their true potential, അല്ലെ അവരുടെ യഥാർത്ഥ ടാലൻറ്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അവരുടെ യഥാർത്ഥ ഒരു കഴിവ് പുറത്തേക്ക് കാണിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഒരു അവസരം കിട്ടുന്നില്ല എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. അതുകൂടാതെ അവർ പറയുന്ന മറ്റൊരു കാര്യമാണ് ദാറ്റ് എന്താണ് ദാറ്റ് ഷീ ദ വിമൻ she contributes, she can contribute to 50% of the economy, but she is denied from that. Okay, and that not only hurts her but also it hurts the economy, it affects the economy itself. Yes, and then she says that that door of opportunity can be opened if we have the key to it, which is the 3L. And what are the 3L? The 3L are learning and labor and leadership. So this is what we came across till now, and then there are two questions coming from this. The first question is, what are the 3 essential factors for empowerment? Okay, the 3 essential factors for empowerment, we know that what are the 3 essential factors? It is learning, labor and leadership are the 3 essential factors which are very much required for empowering a woman. Yes, and we know that many great people have said that when a man learns, he learns and he becomes self-employed, or he becomes a great man. But when a woman learns, when a woman gets educated, the whole family is educated. She upbrings the whole family. She can build a whole family and it can be brought up by her alone. There are many such great things told about women. Yes, it is UN who gave a great line about women which I would like to share with you. UN says that women empowerment is a process by which women take control and ownership of their lives through expansion of their choices. Yes, women empowerment is how a woman can take control of her own life. Till now, this woman is controlled by others. Her life is controlled by others. Isn't it true? What a girl or what a woman should do is always controlled by either father or husband or brother or children. Yes, and when that woman decides for herself what her choice should be, that is originally women empowerment. Okay, so till now we have dealt with the first paragraph of this lesson. Then after this we will see in another video with the rest of the lesson. Till then, take care.